The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They'll start on the ground with Breida. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Here we go. 180. Here we go. Tight ends Ringo. Tight ends on Ringo. Tight ends on Ringo. 11. 3 down.
On second down, a run with Breida. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers. Matt Breida out of Georgia Southern now in his third year in a 49er uniform. He was tough to keep off the field last year. Very good yards per carry, 5.3 on 153 attempts. Good for over 800 yards rushing. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Here we go. 180.
The former Purdue Boilermaker, Raheem Mostert. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Here we go. 180. 11. Check.
Garoppolo going to try and throw on third. Got him in. He finds Sanders. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Garoppolo gives to Breida. And some space here. A big seam, and he might go all the way. Touchdown, 49ers. Matt Breida with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
Here we go.
And now this is right in Kyle Shanahan's wheelhouse. He'll go for 2 here.
Tight ends right. 4 down. Check. 4 down.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And he's got it. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. On second down, here's Mixon. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Set, ready. 360 out clock. 61. Matchbox, light. Orbit.
look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. When the rookie QB gets his first touchdown pass, that's one you put in the trophy case. First career interception, that's going to be one he wants to forget.
Yeah, and he's not going to go ask for the football, right? Yeah, you can keep that one. The key for him, what does he learn from it? When he watches the tape, does he have an answer right now where he already understands what mistake he made? That's what the coaches are going to want to know, and that's what they'll grill him on and see how he grows from it.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Now it's Breida. He'll have a first down inside the 10. Now they'll have it first and goal following that gain of 17. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Matt Breida doing it again with his third touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Gold to add the extra point. And he atones for his miss the first time around, as this one is up and good to extend their lead. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Nick Bosa in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career. 21-0 our score after 1.
We got 3, we got 3, fellas, we got 3. Got it? 53, 80 weapon, 80 weapon. Watch the twist, watch the twist.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Credit the sack to the Oregon Duck, DeForest Buckner.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10.
Here we go, here we
The
go.
49er offense set to get this drive underway. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move they make works, it clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about.
Here we go.
So now, following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. Here's Breida. And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Matt Breida on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Gold with the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half.
Niners 28, Bengals nothing. Robbie Gould to kick off for San Francisco.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Now Joe Mixon. It looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves him with 7 yards to go on 3rd down.
You got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
The Bengals on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7. He'll drop to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeForest Buckner picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Brings up 4th down.
Check 37. Check 37. Slam, slam, slam. You're out.
They're going to try and throw. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone.
That's right, baby. They don't want it.
They run with Breida. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Jesse Bates, who led the Bengals in tackles as a rookie, there to make the stop.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up?
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Emmanuel Sanders, his 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys continue to pour it on. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. On the screen, Bernard. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
At the Niners' 48-yard line.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 8. And down he goes. The 49ers get there.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his 2nd week of the regular. And he's going to go down again. Nick Bosa able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a 2nd one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Breida, he'll try the right side. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down.
Here we go, here we go. I got this.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Can't get away, and he's taken down. DeForest Buckner able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Here we go. Ken Lobo, 53, Mike 53. They can't hang with us.
Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action.
60 Pittsburgh. Man out, man out, man out, man out.
They'll set up to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Quan Alexander picks up his second sack of the afternoon. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with fourth down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here's Matt Darr now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Second and 6, just inside the 30.
Squeeze, get in there.
They'll stay on the ground, mixing again. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Delay of game penalty. Ships him back 5 yards, makes it 3rd and 10. He'll look to throw. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Here's Matt Darr now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Good coverage there. An even 50-yard punt leads to a return of 5. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving...
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, 49 49ers. Matt Breida, 72 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the third quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done, it's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more.
42. Bengals nothing. Robbie Gould to kick off for San Francisco.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
They're not ready for this. Go!
They'll look to throw here. He rifles one that's intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. They brought the house that time on the young rookie, maybe a little rattled through the pick.
And you have to be prepared for a lot of pressure as a rookie quarterback because most defensive coordinators are going to test you that way. So when you see that, the ball's got to get out of your hands quickly.
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Matt Breida, 33 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on. Now Gould for the extra point. And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the second extra point he's missed so far. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team.
And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion.
25-yard line.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. From the gun, a give to Mixon. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They're going to look to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
They failed once in this spot earlier, but the offense will stay out to go for it on 4th down. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Open man is Ross, complete. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Niners take over in terrific field position. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. This is Breida. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
That's complete to a speedy wideout Goodwin. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
21. Here we go. Kill.
Once again, they run with Breida on 1st down. And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. A 21-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Gold with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead.
Makes the score Niners 55, Bengals nothing. Robbie Gould to kick off for San Francisco.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now back to throw. And that will be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
This one away by the punter, Dar. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
Here we go, here we
The
go, here we go.
49er offense set to get this drive underway. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. 180!
Watch the run, watch the run.
Hey, gun. 65, 65. 57,
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. It's caught by Sanders. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Here we go, here we go. 180!
They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Now a give to Breida. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Here we go, here we go. 180!
Don't let him breathe! Don't let him breathe! Play that tight D! Don't let him breathe, defense!
Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. Man open, it's Goodwin. The 20! And across the chalk into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Marquise Goodwin, his 3rd touchdown now on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he's going to have the hook up to Ross. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A pickup of 24. And that's where the play began, the 24-yard line.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Airing one out for Boyd. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. The Niners on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This time it's 3rd and 3. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
Here comes the 49ers punter now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Ross on the return. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. 2nd and 9 now. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Back to throw. And a throw there going to be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9. They'll set up a throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Niners take over in terrific field position.
Here we go. Like 20.
Now a give running left is Breida. Darquez Denard there to make the tackle.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Yeah, one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. So the victory here for San Francisco. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the 49ers, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll try to get back.